All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to get started on the next part of Zool. I think we just finished, the first part, and we're going to try to add the second part. So, what are we trying to add during this section? First, we want to add an exit to the game so that Zool can go from level to level. There's also this concept of bonus collection. We have these collectible items we need to go pick up, and then we're going to be adding enemies and hazards. And then also keeping track of Zool's lives. And then finally, we're going to add a time limit to each level. And so we'll get all those features hopefully implemented in this next version of Zool. First things first, we need to make some new sprites for Zool. We're going to add some new behaviors to Zool. One is Zool, he's got a kick left and right, and then a spin. And left and right, and then also a die, him dying left and right. So let me just show you the process to make one, and then I'll let you do the others. I'll include these sprites with the resources that are available for the project. So we'll go here, and we'll say create sprite, and we're going to load it. So let's import it. Let's see. So this first one we're going to do is kick right and left. So let's try kick right. Open. And it's able to see the different frames. Now we do have to be careful here because we want to make sure that the collision mask is the same as all the other ones. And so we need to, all the other Zools, so we want to set this to manual. We'll say rectangle, and then we'll say, I think, well, let's compare it to, like, say, object Zool stand. You see the numbers here for the collision boxes. For top left is 14.6, and then 34.42 for bottom right. 14.6, 34, 42, 14, 6, 34, 34. 42, let's see what that looks like. Yeah. So if we compare those two bounding boxes, then they should be the same size. They look the same. The numbers are the same. And we'll call this one sprite Zool kick, kicking to the right. And so if you could make the other ones, again, the other ones you want to make is spin left and right, and also Zool die left and right. And I'll come back to the video after I've made all those. So I want to point out probably the easiest way to do this is, take the one you just created, just say duplicate, and that will get all the collision mask stuff automatically set for you. And for me, I'm going to do spin right. So again, all I have to do is import that here, and then go up and change the name to spin right. And then hit enter, changes the name, and it creates it. So that saves you a little time. All right, so I have all this new Zool sprite set up. Next up, we need to create the missile sprite. So let's do that. We'll say new sprite. We'll call this one SPR_missile. We'll import that image. here it is. So I grab that and open that up. SPR_missile. This is going to be the bullet that Zool shoots. He'll be able to shoot, which will be kind of cool. We do want to change the collision mask. And here, the collision mask we want to use is 3 to 12. So I'm going to change these to 12. So change this to full image rectangle. Or actually, we don't want to say automatic. We want to say rectangle. Manual. That's what we want. Manual rectangle. You want to set these to 12. Just a little bit smaller. See what that looks like. I think that's good. Another thing not to forget is to center this. So we want to set the origin to the center. And puts it right in the middle. Next, we need to create the lifts. So those are a new type of platform, so we're going to actually create a new folder in here. So far, we have ramps and slopes and some other stuff. We want to add a folder, or add a group, I guess. And we'll call this group, we'll call this one lifts. Okay, so that's our new folder. And then inside that, we'll create the NewSprites for the lifts. Now, lifts are like elevators or like conveyor belts that take you from place to place. There's also some specialized sprites for setting the limits of those two things. So let's just do the first one. This will be the sprite for the lift that goes up. So let me import that. There it is. We've imported it. Now for the collision mask, I don't think it matters much, but recommendation is say full image and rectangle on all of these. And we'll just leave the origin up at the top left corner. Now if you could do the same with all the other lift sprites, we have up, down, left, and right. And then there's two, one called H limit and the other one called V limit. You also want to create those just in the same way. And the user's never going to see those, but it's for us when we're designing the level to set where each lift is supposed to start and stop. And we'll call this one SPR underscore lift up. It's the uplift. All right, so I have them all created now. Lift up, down, right, left, V limit, and H limit is right here. Actually, right here. I hadn't duplicated yet. And so now I have all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprites ready for the lifts. Next up, we need to make the hazards. So we're going to need a new group, and the level we need to set the group at is not in platforms, but out here, right where it says, well, yeah, right here where it says sprite. We're going to create a new, well, not a new sprite. Let me get rid of that. What we want to do is create a new group. So add group, and we'll call this group hazards. And it's inside this group where we're going to put all our things that can hurt Zool. So one of the first things that can hurt Zool are these spike things. So let's create those. And I call this first one sprite spikes right. So ones that point to the right. And we'll import that image. Let's see if I can find it. Here's right. Now for the collision mask on all of these, we want to use full image rectangle. So that's the collision mask. And then you can make the other ones for left and up. Alright, so I have my spikes created. Now I'm set to add my first monster. This one is called a Beastie. And Beasties walk back and forth, and they shoot, I think, gumballs at you. And so we have to do standing left and right, walking left and right, attacking left and right, and then dying for the Beastie. And then finally, we need a sprite for the Beastie missiles. So let's start that then. First, I'm going to do the Beastie. And there's lots of different versions of this, but we'll create the sprite, and we'll import the picture. This will be Beastie stand right. We'll start with that. That one doesn't move. So that's what a Beastie looks like, kind of weird looking. So let's call it sprite underscore Beastie underscore stand right. Now for the collision mask then, first we have to figure out what kind of collision mask we need for this. We're going to set this to manual, and we're going to make it rectangular just like the other ones. But we want to set top left and bottom right to these numbers. We'll say 8 for left, 24 for right. Say 24. 4 for top. And then for bottom, we want to set it to 43. All right, and so that's going to be our bounding box, our collision box for the Beasties, and we want all the Beasties to share the same one. So I would do the same thing when you're creating the other Beasties. Is just duplicate this one, change the sprite out, change its name, and then call it good. We also have to change the origin. So here, we actually want to set it manually. So I wonder how you do that. I guess we can just type here. So we want 16 for X, and then 28 for Y. It gives us a custom bounding box, and that's how we're going to locate this on in our game. So next for you is to create all the other Beasties. We got Beasties standing left, and then we have Beasties walking left and right, and then Beasties attacking left and right. And there's also one called Beastie Die. We want to do that one as well. So I've done all the Beasties. On Beastie Die, that's one I'm working on. It's smaller than the other ones. It uses a different collision mask. In fact, we're just going to ignore the collision mask, and we'll say we just want to center this. So we'll say center. Let me just double check this. See, these numbers don't make sense. So we're just going to set it to full image. Well, yeah, full image rectangle would be the way to go on that one. While we're at it, we're going to do the Splat sprite. So let's do that one next. Create sprite. We'll call it SPR underscore Splat. I'll go and grab that sprite if I have it. Splat. There it is. I think that's for the bee when the bee dies. Here too, we want to just center it. And on the collision mask, it doesn't matter, since it's just for visual effect. Next come the Beastie missiles. We just need one sprite for that, so we'll create that. And it'll have multiple frames for each of the different colors of missiles. These are little gumballs or something being shot. We'll call it a Beastie missile. And then we'll import the different colored Beastie missiles. Here, this is kind of odd. On all the other ones, we've been centering them, but on this one, I think we first want to say full image rectangle on this, and then and this one we do want to center them, so we'll say middle center. Call it good. All right, we're going to stop here on this video because it's long enough. Then we'll pick up next time. We're going to be building the sprites for the jellies and then also for the bees. And then we'll have all our sprites in place and we can get started on some actual coding.